Hello.
She walked away while her shoes were untied and the eyes were all red. You could see that we'd cried, and I watched and I waited till she was inside, forcing a smile.
Welcome to the midnight hour, folks. How is everyone? It's been, what, 2-3 weeks since I was last on. Good to see you guys in here. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Bubsy, how are you? So where were we? Where were we when last we spoke, guys? I am so far out the loop. I feel like I'm in a different dimension. So you guys may have to help catch me up. Hey, Jeanette, how are you? Hey, Wiccan. Cassius. Hey, Pink. Did you call me rabies before, Brooke? A long time ago. Well, you're forgiven. You're out of the loop too, Pink. Hey, Rosebuds, what song was that? So that's the Arctic Monkeys, a song called Do Me a Favor. Have I been taking mushrooms, Tracy? No? Do I sound like I've been taking mushrooms? MRB is mad over the Maya trial victory. Why is she mad about it? Yeah, I'm sure plenty of people called me rabies um, without love back in the day. Oh, the money awarded. Okay. I was following the eye drop murder case. Who was following that? That was pretty crazy. I need to know why you were asking if I've been taking mushrooms, Tracy. Yeah, Brooke, the eye drop murder case. I can't recall her name right now, but she was found guilty yesterday, I think. Yeah, it was the same judge that did the Daryl Brooks case. Hey Jennifer, how are you? Okay, I don't see anyone catch me up on anything I've missed. At times you miss so much that you kind of just give up. Pussycat, I think it was another channel, Mushrooms. That's because MRB can't pay her own bills. Yeah, it's been a while since she did some drama. Yeah, 300,000 apparently she stole from that woman that she was supposed to be taking care of. Hey Jennifer, Jennifer W. A lot in the Delphi case. Yeah, so the Delphi case is a shit show, isn't it? Rosebud eye drop murder. I think she was giving the victim it for years, and that's why they never could figure why she was sick. Jesse, yeah. For anyone that was watching the trial and that seen the verdict, did anyone notice her mother walking straight out pretty quickly after the verdict? Oh, really, Brooke? Hey, Mary. Thank you. Yeah, I missed you guys as well. I'm back in the saddle. Talisa, how are you? Well, Granny and Angela are arguing. Like and Amber and Amy are arguing. New trash channel popped up about Bam. That was a fine catch up. Nice and concise. How about the boyfriend? Didn't know anything. In the eye drop case? I heard that, Rosebud. Yeah, some people are wondering if the mother may face charges. I watched you couldn't really call it a interrogation. It was an interview that she had um, with investigators closer to the time when she got arrested. And she was there with her mother. I got the vibe that the mother was oblivious, but who knows? Mary doesn't watch the drama. She did, Rosebud, yeah. Who would have thought that eye drops be used as poison, guys? Um, of course I'm missing Maria. Who did you do a drawing for? Life Rewinded? Judge Doro is my hero. Yeah, she was the judge in this case, right? Yeah, Brooke. I've said this many times, but there's something about YouTube that messes people up. But it has to be people that are already a little messed up, right? Did you send me a drawing, Life Rewinded? I didn't get that. Through email? Maria and Rabid got married, we know it. Okay, Life Rewinded, cool. Hey, Darzan. Good to see you. Where do these people come up with these crazy ways? Hard question to answer, Pussycat. What's your channel name, Life Rewinded? Is it your account name? See if I can find it. Okay, I've got your channel, I think. Hey, Poolside, how are you? Jesse's Facebook page is still up. Really? Hey, Jenny. I know it's late. It's late. We're having a midnight chat tonight. Okay, I'm gonna check Life Reminded. See it. I've definitely got your channel here. Dead jellyfish. Isn't it crazy how MRB knew to leave BAM alone? BAM could clean MRB's clock in 5 minutes. Not physically, but mentally. Okay, cool. Death Camp mushroom case is interesting, Rabbit. So I'm not aware of this one, so that must be what Common Chaos was talking about. Oh, hey, Snow Lion, how are you? Is Jelly Bear still here? Jelly Bear's been following the Sarah Boone case. I wanted to ask her if there's any updates there. It's all over YouTube. Yeah, I need to check that out then. Oh, it's in Australia? Oh, hey, Jelly. Is there any updates on Sarah Boone, do you know? Hey, Genetic. Oh, well, it is a new day now, Genetic. Do you know though, guys, I think it's time that we did away with time zones. We don't need time zones in the modern age. No one cares about it being dark anymore. We live in a 24-hour society. Who's with me on this? Seriously, why do we need time zones now? Take it to Natasha, Gofu. Jelly Bear, the last letter that I know of is that she wrote the judge all about her ex is basically abusing her by her unpaid child support payments and bad-mouthing her. Not sure what the judge can do. Okay, so he obviously didn't stand by her for long. Suzanne says it should be 5 o'clock everywhere. Yeah, we really do not need time zones anymore. The world has shrunk. We don't care about that darkness, do we? We no longer need to arrange our lives by the sun and the moon, is the point. Why do people come to other chats to yell about other creators? They either lost or can't read. Yeah, it's always the way. Hey Greg, how are you? She also claims she's supposed to be getting alimony payments from him and he's not paying those. Hmm. That is going to be a fascinating trial, though. Sure. Are you guys impressed I'm keeping up with chat here? Oh, let me check Life Rewinded. Oh, wow. Love it. Let me show you guys. See if I can make that bigger. That's so cool. Love it. Rabid Dog. So do you do art then, Life Rewinded? Jelly Bear, pretty sure the judge in her criminal murder trial can't do a dang thing about that. Wrong courtroom for child support and alimony payments. Do you know how approximately how much time she could serve in prison if she's found guilty as charged of second degree? From what I recall, manslaughter can be anywhere up to 15 years, I think. 10 to 15 years. Second degree, I would say about 20, 25 years from what I remember, but don't quote me on that. Oh, hey, Casbah. Casbah doesn't need time zones, but I do need a clock, or I'd never know when it was safe to feed the gremlins. Listening while doing housework. Hugs to all. It's always good to see you, Casbah. Yeah, we don't need time zones. Like, I'm actually serious about this. If anyone wants some art done by Life Rewinded with their name, then let her know. Mary was going to say 10 years. I think it's more than that, though, for second degree, I'm sure. But there is obviously a lot of scope, you know, like a minimum, maximum. And obviously, if we just scrap time zones, then certain places are going to get the short straw. But you could change it around every 5 years. That's right. I mean, she could potentially, if she only got. Now, I don't know if they're, in this case, if they're able to downgrade it to manslaughter if she's found not guilty of second degree. If that's the case, she could potentially already have served half her term. Jen's awake and eating salami. You're welcome, Jen. Hey, Kathy. A salami slap. Is she delaying on purpose? Do you mean Sarah Boone? I think Sarah's been desperate to get this to trial. But I think she's on, what, her 7th or 8th attorney? Hey, Welsh lady. Okay, you do mean Sarah Boone. Yeah, it's definitely not her wanting it delayed. London, there is nothing more annoying in society these days than sovereign goddamn citizens. Pussycat says 10 to 20 years for second degree. Okay. And I presume you checked that for Florida, right? Hey Tonda. Box Boy's father's sentencing is tomorrow if anyone watched that trial. Jen, mostly I love a good slap with a sausage. His trial was a shitstorm. Heidi Broussard, I know that name. What case is that? Heidi Broussard. Yeah, it's late supper time, Irish. Hey, Shari. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. London, is she the gal who killed her friend? Let me look this up. I definitely know the name. Oh, Heidi is the victim, right? The Texas woman accused of killing Heidi Broussard and kidnapping the victim's infant has been sentenced to 55 years in prison after pleading guilty. Check out Suzanne with the links. Tarzan, Timothy Ferreter gets his verdict tomorrow. I'm guessing 12 to 15 years. I'm going through one of my phases where I find it hard to watch true crime. It comes and goes for me. And you know what else I'm noticing with YouTube lately is just this uh, apathy. Who finds YouTube goddamn difficult? Oh, hey Ivy, how are you? Hey, Lady Witch. Jolly Bear says the gal who murdered her friend with eye drops weirdly was found guilty yesterday. The judge in that case was the same judge Darrell Brooks had, yeah. Right, Jen? Oh, okay. I know the Idaho case. Yeah, I was obviously speaking with Natasha on that case the last few days. That is so strange, that one. I can feel myself going down the rabbit hole on the Idaho case. Lady Witch, I've lost patience with quite a few people recently. What used to be fun is just toxic now. Yeah. Yep. I've heard that, Jen. The Brooks trial is highly watchable. Ivy says, I'm not a creator, but as a viewer, I have a variety of interests and also make sure I listen to music and watch my shows. Yeah, yeah. You don't think Brian Kohlberger did it? Well, you're not alone. A lot of people have a lot of doubt about that. Some people think that he was involved, but he wasn't alone. One thing is for goddamn certain, if that was the work of one guy, then that guy almost certainly has to have killed before. I've not, Jen, no. I've not. Lynn says, I think Kohlberger has something to do with it, but not alone. Yeah, there's a certain time bracket which is so narrow based on what we know from when one of the girls was on TikTok. And obviously when his car, or what obviously matches his car, is caught on a camera. Not a lot of time. Yeah, yeah. Maureen, one of the surviving girls has said she saw a naked man walking through the house in the early hours. Did she say she seen him walking through the house specifically? Because I was wondering if she seen someone leaving the house out her window, perhaps. I should host a series on the Brooks trial. I would watch it again. That was the most insane trial I've ever seen. Yeah, I mean, I've seen clips here and there. She said it last week, Maureen. Specifically in the house, yeah? Hmm. Lady Witch, exactly. A first-time killer could not have done that and cleaned up the scene in that amount of time. It's physically impossible. Yeah. I mean, it was, I think the time bracket is somewhere about 10 minutes. Yeah, I like that, Judge, Jen. Lynn, how did he have the strength to inflict that many stab wounds and kill a big, strong young man last? I don't get it. I mean, we know they were they had been out. Um, I was wondering, were they not as together because they were drinking, perhaps? Yeah, I could, Julie. He spent most of his time muted. Daryl. Court TV just did a synopsis of the Brooks trial. I think it's a series called Victim to Verdict. I'm really focused on the Delphi case at the moment. Darzan, there are so many cases going on that it makes you dizzy trying to stay updated. The day doesn't have enough hours to keep up with everything. Yeah, yeah, I'm like that. I tend to just focus on one case at a time. Genetic, was he naked but still wearing that mask showing his bushy eyebrows? His parents live 45 minutes from me. Do you mean Koberger or Daryl Brooks? He was sent to the naughty room. I heard that, yeah. He built himself a fort with his binders and books and things. Maureen says the corruption in Delphi is terrible with this case. Do you think? Ivy, the Delphi case is by far the most effed up nightmare with twists and turns, and I need answers. I think, and I've said this a few times, obviously, but there has to, there's no way getting around the fact there has to be a link with um, Keegan Klein. October 2024 for Delphi. Snowline, who's naked? So apparently, one of the girls, it wasn't Dylan. We know about Dylan who survived seeing a guy apparently walking towards her. She was obviously peeking through the door in her bedroom, and the guy was walking through into the kitchen because I'm sure it's in the affidavit where she seems to indicate that he left by the patio door, which is on the first floor. But apparently, another girl has said she's seen someone naked. Bethany, okay. Bethany was on the first floor, am I right? At the other side of the house from Dylan? Crime Circus has been covering some of the Idaho 4. Talisa, I think he is going to turn state witness. I'm convinced he's going to be testifying during the trial. Oh, the patio door is on the second floor. Ah, yeah. See, this is the always mess this up because over here, the first floor is not the ground floor. Darzan, during your last live, I told you about a stolen bike here in town. This weekend, there was a murder. Sheesh. Oh, have you been else, Snowline? The patio backs up to the hill, so it looks like the first floor from the backyard. See, I thought the patio from the kitchen led to the part of the house that faced the main road, so I'm wrong. So the patio from the kitchen is at the backyard? Yeah, I hope you're recovering well, Snowline. Jolly Bear says, at the very least, Koberger, in my opinion, had to have had a driver, and I wonder about the ex-military guy in his apartment complex that was either suicide or suicide by cop shortly after. And apparently his Brian Koberger's shower curtains were missing. Genetic. That basement first floor was added long after the house was originally built, hence why the patio area actually used to be the first floor. Okay. Michelle says that's correct, Rabid. What, the kitchen patio led to the front of the house or the back? I don't suppose it really matters, but oh god, Snowline. You have my thoughts, and I'm sure everyone in chat. Yeah, that must have been terrifying. Okay, the patio door opened onto the back. Okay, cool. It's a very short time window, isn't it, Jelly Bear? Everyone send in their thoughts to Snowline. AKA the dog with rabies. I love it. Yeah, I think Natasha's fine. I'm sure she'll be live later. Hey, Jules. Okay, she's not feeling too well. Can someone explain to me what Natasha has done, right, to deserve her channels going down every week? If there's anyone in here or lurking that can explain to me what she has done to deserve that, I'd be interested to hear it. Not that I'm aware of, Jennifer. But not many people could keep coming back like that. I think a lot of them have to be jealous or obsessed or both. Someone figured out the magic words for YouTube. And it's the way that people abuse the system that's on here. I mean, Natasha's lucky that she's got a lot of people that she's had there for a long time, but most people would never have come back from that continually. It's still up, Jennifer. Cool. But that has to take a toll. Well, this is the thing, Jeanette. People think they're being heroes for other creators. Talisa, nothing except people believe the rumors about her. That's how I became a fan of Natasha. Went to see for myself. I became very aware the rumors were lies. So I've been watching Natasha, what, about a year now? And the drama that has occurred, from what I can tell, from her side, is always as a response. I don't see her initiating very often. Right, Snowline, yeah. Darzin, a better question is why MRB's channel is still up. Hmm. Can you imagine MRB coming back after losing her channel like 50 times? Right? Yeah, Carolina. Every time she's about to get monetized, right? Like, where does it come from with Granny's watching? Like, what started that there? Right, Lady Witch? Hey, Tracy. Or Trace. Granny was jealous of the money. It's got to be more than that, though. Yeah. Yeah, and I keep hearing people saying that, if you abuse the system, like striking and never following up, there should be some repercussion to that. It's the age-old problem with YouTube though. It's just so huge. There's so much of the regulation is automated, right? Yeah, Jennifer, I remember someone being on her panel that apparently knew someone or had a family member that worked for Google, but are they still there? Yeah, it's not gonna happen, Lady Witch. Really, Julie. You're right, London, yeah. Hey, J Bert, how are you? Well, she needs to be tenacious. I think what you're experiencing tonight is my YouTube version of writer's block. Follow the money. I keep forgetting to put the panel link in chat for anyone that would like to come up and discuss anything. I want to pin this if I can get to it. Okay, that's a pinned. You don't think it's more than just money, London? Oh, is it that easy, Lady Witch? You did dip in once to wish her a speedy recovery when she had COVID. MRB. She does to Lisa. How about this? Why don't you guys think up any questions or any topics you might have, and we'll improvise. Carolina, I saw Merb when she was trying to hit 25,000 subs. Social Blade stats had her growing by 100 every single day. Yeah, see, that's just how Social Blade works, though. Carolina, I think once you get over a certain amount of subs, it only shows you increments of 100. So it can look like it's fake, but it can just be down to that fact. It's not rocket science, Julie. Okay, I'm waiting for some epic questions or topics. I 100% think Richard Allen is guilty. Maureen, yep. Now that I'm still open to the possibility that someone else was involved, but he has to be bridge guy. What do you think Sarah Boone's outcome will be? Honestly, based on everything we know right now, I think she will be found not guilty of second-degree murder. I just don't know if they're able to downgrade it to manslaughter. What makes you think the bridge guy is Richard Allen? Based on what's in the affidavit, from if we are to assume that there's no true corruption going on with law enforcement, if we are to believe what's in the affidavit according to the witnesses and what is apparently on the security footage, there's such a small possibility that he's not the guy in the bridge based on the witness statements in that affidavit. Snow Lion, can you please catch us up in relation to a certain case? Julie, Rabid, what are your thoughts on the whole worship of Odin stuff that came out in the Delphi case? So I have read a bit of the motion that the defense, that document in the defense's motion, and it just sounds like such a reach to me. Because it's dependent upon there being guards within the prison who were also followers of Odinism that somehow bullied him into his confessions. Liggett lied to get the search warrant. The search warrant, this was also part of the defense's motion to try and highlight the search warrant being illegitimate, right? Because of this Odinism. Oh, who's MRB advertising her own channel in Natasha's Facebook? Wow. London, I think Bridge Guy was a pawn. It's possible. The he was there to take them down the hill. Right, Carolina? So it's really the two cases for me right now is Sarah Boone and the Delphi case. Ivy, so Alan's new attorneys have to buy into this whole Odinism thing. Would you not think? That's the thing, right? Because if his new attorneys just drop the Odinism theory, then how can that not be damaging to his chances? Do you think Odinism is just reasonable doubt? Yeah, well, that was their strategy, right? This is the famously naive Darzan speaking. How terrible has the world become if corruption can lead to the wrong people being convicted? What a world we live in. It does look like Alan on that bridge, but there are so many men in that area all have that same look. Yeah, I mean, what he was wearing is how everyone dresses in Delphi, apparently. It's the fact that he puts him there. He puts himself there, according to what he told the investigators early on. And no other guy matching that description was seen on the trail after the period of time that one of the witnesses says that she saw a guy on the bridge. And he himself said that he got there at 1:30 and then walked down to the bridge. He also says he was on the bridge. Yeah, that's the thing, Jelly Bear, yeah. It's not being into Odinism doesn't mean that you want to sacrifice people. Pam is here for Sarah Boone. Donna Adelson, is that the mother? It's another case I don't know too much about. Yeah, reminds you of Ian Huntley. That was a horrific case over here in the UK. He tried mixing some truth into the lie to make it look plausible. Yeah, because he only came forward after the image of Bridge Guy was put out there. Oh yeah, I'll definitely cover the Sarah Boone trial. What case is that, Carolina? I thought she was involved. I think her daughter is. Oh, the Adelson case. Her interview is something else, isn't it? The ex-wife of the guy they got killed. Okay, just out of interest, just to go back to Brian Kohlberger, I'd like to know how many people think he is most likely the only perpetrator. So if you guys put a 1 in chat if you think Kohlberger acted alone, and put a 2 if you think either that someone else was involved with him or he wasn't involved at all. So put a 1 if you think he acted alone, and put a 2 for anything else. See, I had a feeling it'd be most of you guys would say that. A lot of ones coming in now though. On the fence. This is always the thing with true crime, that we're kind of limited in terms of information until it goes to trial. But we can speculate based on what we know. Pam says, I think he's too arrogant to have someone else there. Yeah, he was definitely a strange guy. Tarzan's not really sure. Probably more twos though. Not by much though. Maybe 60-40. Jelly Bear undecided. Part of me thinks there's no way he could kill 4 people with a knife in minutes and get out without leaving next to nothing as far as bloodstains. London says, but he was also trying not to make the same mistakes that BTK made. Yeah, yeah, Maureen, because they captured what appears to be his car. It is interesting, though, that he apparently asked if anyone else had been arrested. Tarzan. It's a weird one, Jabber. If if BK did murder all 4, he's the kind of person who would never want to share in the glory of his murders. He seems to be the type that thinks he's probably the only person who could ever. Yeah. Yeah, Pam. It's crazy that if it's him, it's so crazy that he left the sheath there. Because the sheath was apparently under some of the bedding underneath one of the girls. I think it Maddie? Ellie says, I think he was there longer than people think. Just my opinion. Yeah, I mean that is possible, right? I mean, because we're saying the time frame is is from the time when we know that one of the girls was on, was it Snapchat or TikTok? I think it was. But that doesn't mean that he wasn't there prior to that when they were out, because they were all out that evening, right? Yeah, Darzan, what was the name of that guy again? Trying to remember. That was crazy. Many murderers leave souvenirs with the bodies. He didn't clean the buckle prior. You think he planted the sheath? That's it, yeah, Anders Breivik. Hmm. You think he had more than one knife with him? That's true, Maureen. They don't have the knife, just the actual sheath. Yeah, because there's the issue that Natasha was talking about that the wounds are described um, in different ways. 3 times, I think it is. And is that because it wasn't just one weapon that he used? Yeah, it was Mari's body, right? I heard it was underneath her body, underneath some bedding. Did he actually teach a class in criminology? Richard Allen owned loads of knives that were taken in his search. Yeah, I mean it's obviously very strange, Ellie, that Dylan took that length of time to call 911. There's no getting around that. Pam is not surprised that they didn't find blood evidence in his vehicle. Do you say that due to the profile that he may have been a meticulous killer? Because just like someone said earlier, the sheath could have just uh, been too difficult for him to find quickly. Yeah, Maureen, it's so strange. What's also strange, I think, is the fact in the affidavit, when the 911 call is referred to, they describe the request being for people that were unconscious. And we obviously know how gruesome the crime scene was. Now, I guess that could just be down to the way the the either the dispatcher or whoever wrote the affidavit was interpreting things. Well, I saw your coverage of the Villisca axe murders. I saw 1 and 2. Was there a third when the preacher turned up at another town? Um, I don't. He was the preacher, Kelly, the guy Kelly. There's not a huge amount known about his life after that, but from what I recall, he wasn't linked to any other crimes. Jilly, there was an empty bedroom in the house the night of the murders. He could have been hiding in the closet of that bedroom. The four didn't get home from the party until super late. Yeah. Jerry, off the wall question. Do you think BK would have done this if he would have been hired onto the police department that he was turned for? I don't know. I didn't even know. Did he apply to the police department? Did he? You don't think he anticipated Kaylee being there, however? Oh, turned down for. Okay. Got you, Jerry. I didn't even know that. Yeah, sure, Welsh. He had applied to the department in that area. Huh. Interesting. Oh, has he, Maureen? He's admitted that he was in that house prior. Hmm. Something to do with IT criminal investigations stuff. I mean, from what we know about him, from the limited, but you get the impression he would be someone that would be capable of being pretty damn meticulous. But could he do it in that time frame? Welsh, it says your devices are not connected. There you are. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well, thank you.
Sure.
Just an update from another YouTube stream I seen, which was absolutely fascinating. Not as good as yours, but you know,
Of course.
not half as good as yours. But he said this preacher ended up going to another town, and he asked a family if he could stay there the night. And the grandma didn't have a real good feeling about him. And she sat on the landing in a chair all night. And she said he paced around all night, all night. He thought they'd all go to bed, but they didn't. She had this funny feeling about him, so she stayed up all night. And I was thinking maybe that's what happened in the first house. He was, yeah, you can stay here the night. And then he he murdered everybody. But carrying on with the story, he got married and he advertised for secretaries to work for him in his
Yeah.
office. But he had one stipulation that they had to work naked.
Naked. Yeah. This was before the murders, though,
So,
right? And do you know how you're talking
no, this was
about that? It was later? You sure?
the one with, pardon?
Are you sure it was later?
Yeah, he went back to, yeah. Well, from what I could gather, because they run through the story as you did, not as good,
Mm-hmm.
I'll say again. But then they said he went to another town and he said, "Oh, can anybody put me up for the night?" And this family said, "Yeah." But the grandma didn't have a good feeling about him, so she sat on the landing all night. And she said he didn't sleep. She could hear
Yeah.
him walking round all night.
Yeah.
He was married
Mm-hmm.
and he went back home, and whatever profession he was in, he wanted women to work for him as secretaries, but they had to be naked.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember
So,
that. He was a very
so
strange guy, for sure.
yeah. But what got me was the point that he went to another town. A family said, "Yeah, we'll put you up for the night," but the granny didn't did didn't have didn't have a good feeling about him, and she sat on the landing, and she
Yeah.
said he just paced back and two, and I'm thinking, is that what happened in the first house, or did he just go
Yeah.
in and kill him?
Yeah.
But yeah, the wanting people to sort of oh, and he was a priest, so there was something about young girls as well.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure whether you covered that bit, but I found it very, very interesting.
It is. And what's interesting about it to me as well is psychologically looking back on a horrific crime like that, because it was such a long time ago, and all we have is these ancient black and white pictures, right? It kind of, because of that distance in time, we kind of we can't help but think about it and view it slightly differently to contemporary cases, right? Because it feels more real. You know, like say the Chris Watts case feels so real because we have all that footage, it's happening right now, we can relate to the people. But with a
Mm-hmm.
case like that, it's very hard to feel, for it
Connected.
not to feel, yeah, to feel it's connected to it, yeah, because it doesn't feel as real. It's kind of strange.
But excuse me, I I it always stuck with me. That was one of the cases that stuck with me that you covered. And when I saw the YouTube went that little bit further, I thought,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
making more sense now.
Well,
Um,
yeah, it does make sense because there was
and
another home that he stayed in prior to the murders where they were saying similar things about him, you know?
oh, maybe this did the granny sit on the top of the stairs?
I can't remember. There was something like that happening, you know, but I can't remember.
Maybe it was before then. But when he got home back to his town or wherever it was he lived, that's when the secretaries he wanted
Mhm.
um, And then there was something about young girls as well, because
Yeah.
with him being a priest, he was Sunday
Yeah.
schooling or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, I
Yeah.
always found that interesting, that case.
Oh, it's
Um,
fascinating.
yeah, yeah. And they also said that the ham was
Mm.
most probably wrapped up for the girls that were staying there to take home to their
Hmm.
family the next morning, which I,
Yeah, that's a
I,
good point, actually. Yeah.
I, I didn't think of that, but like the dad wrapped it up and put it on the side and said, take this home for your dad, because he would have
Yeah.
known it, wouldn't he?
I hadn't even thought about that. That's a good point. It could be
Mm,
something just as innocuous as that, you know?
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
but I mean, the whole thing about the fact that all the mirrors were covered and the windows were all covered, um, and the actual, the viciousness of the actual murders, it's almost like a cliche horror film. It has all those elements, even the home, the way it looked, like a home from Amityville, you
yes,
know?
yes. But I felt, yeah, it's making more sense if he's done it in another house, stayed the
Yeah.
night, and, the granny was, I don't like him, I'll stay on the landing. And she said he just paced up and down all night.
Hmm. Yeah.
So,
Well, he actually confessed to the murders. He went to trial. Um, the, there were suggestions that his confession was forced out of him. So we just don't know. But he's definitely the most likely of all those suspects that were
yeah,
brought up in that case, I think.
I think so also.
Yeah.
I didn't realise he'd gone to court. So, did he get off with it? Did you just say?
Yeah, he did, yeah. Yeah.
Ah, right. Right. I'm sorry I jumped in. Everybody's talking about Brian, whom I think is either innocent or he had help, my
Hmm.
opinion only, because I can't see him doing all that on his own. And I think it was earlier than they were saying.
Hmm. Have you heard the audio from the neighbor as well?
No, I haven't, because there was that many audios and then they proved them to be fake. I sort of give up listening to them.
Yeah.
But what's a content can
Hmm.
contents of the audio you're referring to?
Yeah. It's I think this one's real. Apparently it's real. But you hear loud shouting. I think there's a male voice as well, which people think is obviously the guy, and it sounds like he's either shouting for his girlfriend or shouting for him to get off. It's horrific, it really is.
Mm. And it has come up that he was jumped before he got home by some of his housemates, sorority or whatever.
Really?
But yeah, yeah, because he had an argument at the Signa Park, Signa Park, Signa, yeah, Signa Pie,
Back where he was staying?
Yeah,
Right.
uh, they said there was a fight broke out there, and they followed him and they beat him up on the road and then took him to his house. But everything's speculation, isn't it?
Hmm.
but that would be you know, a bit more sense than one person going in and killing four and then coming out without a scratch
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah, without leaving any trace, really. I
I,
mean, I've only
I
heard.
just I just can't understand it. But the thing is, if they've got the wrong person, then there's not going to be evidence in his car. So maybe that's why there's no evidence in his car, because he
Yeah.
didn't do it. Or maybe he was driving the getaway car and it was
Someone else.
somebody, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to go because I've been on long enough. But I thought that crime with the axe was really gripping. I really enjoyed that one.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a really interesting case, and it was
it
great to
was
speak to that author about it, because
exactly.
he knows more about that case than anyone that I've seen.
Yeah, yeah. But if there was no murders before this priest went there, and only murders when that priest was there,
Hmm.
then that's pointing more likely to that priest, isn't it?
Yeah, he's definitely the most likely. And there's the
Yeah,
fact that he left on the train extremely early in the morning. It was about
exactly.
5 or 6 in the morning.
And who advertises for secretaries to sit there typing in the
Right.
mm,
Yeah, it's a bit of a red flag for sure.
yeah, it is about right. I'm going to let you go, Rabbit. Thank you for letting me come on.
Oh, you're
Um,
welcome. Thanks for coming up. It's good to
no,
talk to you again.
it's just that I that resonates. It stays in my mind, that one,
Yeah, yeah.
because it was so horrendous. And
Do you know
this
what I
other,
might? Do you know what I might do? I might reach out to the author again because we were talking about doing a live and maybe a Q&A with him. So, I might reach out to him again
yeah.
and see if he still would like to do that, you know?
Did he mention this applying for secretaries and
Yeah, yeah,
oh, I
yeah.
must have missed one of your lives, because I can remember you talking about it, which was really interesting, and I can remember that the man being on, but
Yeah,
I couldn't remember anything after that until I seen this other one.
yeah, yeah. I'll put
Right,
the I'll put
sorry.
the link I'll put the link to those videos when we covered Villisca in the chat if anyone's interested in checking that
Yeah,
out.
it was really interesting.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Right,
glad you liked it.
I did indeed. Right, I'm going to go and let somebody else come up if they are.
Yeah.
I'm going to, and I will see you very soon. Take care.
Awesome. Thanks. Thanks, Welsh
Take
lady.
care.
Bye now. Okay, I'm gonna grab the link to that particular video. It's a really interesting case. The house that this occurred in is still there. They've turned it into a museum, essentially. That's the link, guys, if anyone would like to check that live out. It was myself and Cheryl that covered it initially, and then I spoke to Ed Epperly, the author of a book on the case. So you should be able to find it through that link. Just checking back your comments. Maybe vampires cover the mirrors. It does feel so much more abstract though, because it's such an old case, doesn't it? But of course it was just every bit as real as any other case. Yeah, Tracy, yeah, that was when I talked to that author. Yeah, it's a paranormal hotspot. Yeah, of course everyone thinks it's haunted and a lot of people go to visit and they make videos from inside, just making the most of the supernatural aspect. As we all know, toilets are the ultimate portals. Alright, guys, I think I'm gonna call it a night. It was good just to get back on. Feels like forever since I was last on this channel. I'm gonna be putting a presentation on the Delphi case out relatively soon. I was working on that prior to the holiday with the kids, so I'm gonna get back into that and hopefully get that out soon. So that'll probably be the next thing that I will be putting out there. I might put some stuff out on the eye drops murder as well. You're welcome. Lady Witch. Yep. Thanks, Tracy. Yeah, I do. I do. Maureen, do watch Michelle After Dark. She has some great coverage on what's going on with the judge. I will. I'll check that out. Alright, guys. Thanks everyone for coming in and chatting. And I'm sure I'll see you around the tubes. If not tonight, then tomorrow, I'm sure. Alright, guys. Take care, and I shall talk to you soon.